Today we'll be talking about Venn diagrams. We're beginning our probability unit and we're going to start here. To discuss Venn diagrams, there's a few things that we need to get in order, some vocabulary. So when you talk about Venn diagrams, what you're talking about and what you're organizing is a set which is a collection of objects, which the objects are called elements. There's a couple of things that we want to talk about, but let me get into the examples first. So example 1, define each set and determine the variety of elements in it. Part A, the set of countries that start with O. Now in this particular case, we have, well, in any case, we have what's called a universal set. And that is a set that contains all possible elements for a certain situation. And we usually denote the universal set with a capital letter U. Oh, I spelled situation wrong. So in this particular case, the universal set would be country names. And then we have the set of countries that start with O. So I'm going to name that set O. And then the notation that we use is called curly braces. And they are on your keyboard next to the square braces. And there's only one country that starts with O, and it is Oman. So you start with one brace and you end with the other. Now, to talk about this, we use the terms finite or infinite. Finite means that you know the specific number. There's a certain number and you can count that number. Infinite means that it goes on forever. So this particular case, this is finite. So part B, the set of prime numbers. So this I'm going to label as P for prime, open set, and I'm just going to start listing out what are prime numbers. Well, the definition of prime numbers says numbers that start after 2 that only have the factors of itself and 1. So those numbers would be 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and I could keep going, but I'm going to just do that. Oh, that was an ugly one. Now, this set, is it finite or is it infinite? This is infinite. meaning you can list the prime numbers forever. The set of multiples of 4 that are odd. Now this one, you got to think of what are multiples of 4. Multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, so on. Of those numbers, how many of them are odd? I'm going to name this set M. And this set is actually what we call the empty set, which is a 0 with a line through it. Or you could say the 2 curly braces with nothing in between. But this is called the empty or null set, because there's nothing in this set. Every set has an empty or a null set. Okay. Example 2. Given U equals 1, 4, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20, and A equals 4, 10, 17, and B equals 1, 4, 10, and 20, find A prime. So let's talk about this notation now. So the complement of A, or A prime, is a set that has everything from the universal set, but not A. So everything that's in the universal set, just don't include what is in A. So we say A prime, we say not A, we say the complement of A. All those things mean the same thing. So A prime in this case, because our universal set is given to us, our A is given to us, we can list out what our A prime is, which would be 1, 7, 12, 15, and 20. A intersect B. A intersect B is all the elements that set A has in common with set B. So looking at A, looking at B, what they have in common in this particular instance is 4 and 10. Not to be confused with A union B, which is everything that's in A and everything that's in B. So A and B is this. Now, one thing I didn't specifically state, but I did when I listed these out, is these should be, when they're in numerical order, it should be in alphabetical order. from smallest to largest for numerical order, always, as best as you can. Okay, let's do our last example. Use the Venn diagram to define each set to the right. And here's your Venn diagram. So whenever you see a Venn diagram, you should have a box around it. And what this box represents is the universal set. In Venn diagram, typically we'll see intersecting circles. So that's the universal, that's A, that's B. And the universal set has 6, 3, 8. A has 2, 5, and then 4, 7, and then 1. So the first one is, let's define what the universal set is. So the universal set is everything that is in this situation. So listing it in numerical order, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. A, so only the things that are in A, I gotta redo that one, that's ugly. Not that that's any better, which would be 2, 4, 5, and 7. And then B, which is 1, 4, and 7. And then B complement, or B prime, or not B. So everything that is outside of B, which is 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8. And then A union B, all the elements that are in A and B. So I have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. Now, Venn diagrams can be very confusing for students, so my recommendation is you take your time, really ask any clarifying questions, and really pay attention because the vocabulary used can be quite confusing. Please go ahead and do some practice questions, and then come back and write your reflection, and as always, ask questions along the way.